Hello, everybody. It's Cindy Ingram, and today I'm going to do some more talk about interpreting tarot cards. And I just got my hair done. Like, she got a new haircut, and she styled it amazingly. So I'm like, I gotta capitalize it and go live. So I have a workshop coming up on Thursday at 2 Eastern, 1 Central, about interpreting tarot cards and how to use tarot cards as a tool to look at your life through a different lens. And it is a wonderful tool for me personally because I have been interpreting art my whole life, studying art, you going to museums and feeling deeply about art and feeling really connected and making decisions about my life through what I'm looking at in the art. And tarot cards are just a natural progression, not progression, but like a natural thing to do, because the images on the tarot cards are so easy to interpret. Not all, not every deck, but so many are. And I love to just, toss the book. Well, I have the book, but I love to just use what's on the card to give me my interpretation. So if you're here today and you want me to pull you a card, I would love to do that. Just say hello in the chat. I am on both my personal profile and my page. So if you're seeing me talk to people and you don't see them, that's why. I'm in a couple different places. Hi, Lauren. Thank you. Isn't it amazing? She did such a good job. Like, I am not even like, I normally get home and take a shower immediately because I hate all that pokey hairs all over me. But I was just like, I can't. I have to. I have to do something. My hair looks so good. But my normal person's on maternity leave. So I'm going to shuffle these cards here. My normal person's on maternity leave. So I went to see someone else at the same place. So I'm like, oh, she did so good. Like, I don't know. Thanks, Mandy. Hi, Mandy. In Melissa's the Facebook Live earlier, she was pulling cards, and she pulled a card about a hot AF Norse goddess for me. So I'm feeling it today, my big baggy sweatshirt and my awesome hair. Like, it's amazing. Like, I'm just gonna keep changing shirts and making videos all day. Okay, I'm pulling a card for Lauren. Okay, Lauren. Whoa. Okay. I don't know what it means when it's sideways. Usually it's reversed or not reversed. Oh, I'm feeling upright for some reason, so we're gonna go with upright. But it flew off, so I'm sure you heard that. Let me get it up on the screen because I want you to be able to see it, because that's the beauty with my work, is you gotta look at the art and not just hear what it means. So give me 1 second to get it onto my computer so that I can show it to you. Yeah, I did. There was some under it too. So I'm like, you might have had a whole full spread, but we're going to stick with the one that was on top. Hi, Tony. Okay. Where did the picture go? Oh, I never finished. Y'all, my ADHD is a problem too. Today, I pulled a card for me to interpret, and I took a picture of it 3 times. Because I forgot I'd already done it twice. Okay, here's the card. All right, so you got the Hermit. I know I let you no, Tony, I don't know how you feel short hair, but I actually feel, I can guess, and I actually feel the same way about short hair. So I think that's why I'm finding myself so attractive right now. Okay, y'all, I can't talk and share a screen at the same time. Okay. There we are. We figured it out. Okay, Lauren, this is your card. So I would love to hear what you think. Like, what about the image stands out to you? And this does have like the software I'm using has a tiny bit of delay. So I'm going to just kind of ramble on about what I think, but I want to hear actually what you think about your card too. So I'm going to describe it first. Tell me. Okay. Uh, y'all are so funny. So we have the Hermit card, and this is the Light Seers Tarot deck, which is my favorite deck. It has amazing images. They're so meaningful. One time I went through card by card and I put them all in order, and I just wanted to like familiarize myself with the whole deck and see the stories. And what I did is I interpreted each card from the images, and then I read the book just to see how close I was. And in most cases, I basically said what the book said. So that's why these images are so good, because it's like the traditional tarot meanings, we're getting to them. And it's without just being like, this card means blank blank blank. It's kind of that way is boring. So awesome. Yeah, Lauren has instantly looks at the big staircase and the teal, green, yellow glows level. Yeah, the colors of this are so beautiful. And it's interesting that you noticed the staircase is what drew your eye before the person. So that's one of the questions I asked is like, what drew your eye first? And that usually is something to, like the thing that you need to most focus on. Ooh, peace and ease and reflection after a long road. Yeah, this is like this is what it feels like to me, is like you've been working really hard, you've been climbing those steps, you've been doing all the work, and now you're just like in the sky, floating, glowing, and with like magic all around you in such peace. Like it is so beautiful. And like we hear the word hermit as like it feels like such a negative word. A lot of people use it as like a negative word, but to me, like this card is just the ultimate in like peace and self-care and like the expansiveness of being alone, um and that enjoying that time. Like it's not that you have to deserve rest, but like I'm not saying that you have to deserve rest, that you can rest in peace now because you have been climbing. Like you deserve rest no matter what. But it does make that, like you've been walking around all day, like like if you're on a European vacation or whatever, and you've just been like walking 18,000 steps, and like you get to sit down for the first time. It's just like, oh, like that sort of relax and relief. And like she's in jammies, well, this is what it looks like to me. So it's like super cozy while also like not touching anything. Like she's not sitting on a couch or anything. She's just kind of weightless, which feels so good. That came up in the live I did the other day, of like that feeling of how great it would be to just to be weightless. And I watched that movie Interstellar last night, and I was like, oh, I want to be weightless too. Um, Lauren is making some amazing connections in the comments. So if you're watching not on wherever Lauren's commenting, because remember I'm streaming in two different places, so you might not be able to see everything that's being said. Just go to my personal profile and my page, you can see everything. But she's saying that there's something. Let's see. I feel like there's something around my road being my road. Like I have to be willing to walk my walk alone. Like I have friends and support along the way, but ultimately it's my path. Yeah, that is a beautiful connection, and I see that too in this. And look how like there's the little dots, and this whole deck has little dots everywhere, which I love, because every time I see the little dots I think it's magic. And so it's like there's magic all the way along the way too. Like it's like little breadcrumbs of magic leading you to this like beautiful place of like success and peace and everything. Oh, I love it. Thank you, Laureen. I've got a new haircut and she like killed it. Like honestly, like the best one yet, and it wasn't even my normal person. But awesome. Is there anything else you're noticing? Like I'm noticing like the ocean like down here. It looks like it's kind of hard to tell in the like back part, but there's like waves crashing along the steps. Um, and there's like a lantern, and then there's like mountains. Is there anything else that's like drawing your attention? Yeah, I only changed it up because my other person did had a baby. So um I'll go back to my other person. Well, she's good too, but like this style, she's like she killed the style. Like she just nailed it. Like this is exactly what I wanted to look like every day. Can we do that? Oh, Lauren is seeing self-acceptance with the energy pulling inward. I love that. Melissa, no, I mentioned that there was a lantern, but no one has mentioned that the lantern, like what that lantern could symbolize. And it's interesting. It's like, is it hanging or is it sitting in that rock? But it almost looks kind of precarious, like it might fall over. Like I'm wondering if that is what meaning that could have. Lauren is noticing there's darkness in one corner and lightness in the other. And then Melissa says, the lantern guiding you along the path. It feels just off the path, but within reach if you choose to grab it. So maybe, Lauren was mentioning that, ultimately this is her path, but that she does have support, that she does have, people to support her on her way, but it's her path. But like that lantern could be like, the thing that, the support that she can reach out and get anytime she needs. And then I also loved Lorraine's comment about being the leader that she wants to be. So she is like lighting the way with that lantern. And then ultimately, like she leaves the lantern behind and she just is the glowing thing. She doesn't need like the lantern anymore because she is just glowing. Ooh. See how cool it is to get multiple people's interpretations of the same card because it makes your interpretations go deeper. It makes you think of things that you maybe hadn't have thought. And that's just super exciting for me to witness. And I've gotten to witness it my whole career with works of art in classrooms and working with teachers, but it's so fun to interpret these cards together. Because we could keep going. Like we could do this whole live just on this card. We could go into the waves crashing. We could go into the clouds. Like, I mean, you could see like maybe there's like constellations or something in the sky. Like there's something happening. Is it space? I don't know. And what ends up happening is that it ends up being way more personal than anything that you could have just read in the book. So we could go to number 9. And it's like inner reflection, meditation, contemplation, soul searching, inner wisdom. And then it has a whole bunch of things. But it's like all of the things that we say and we've mentioned, and 100% the things that Lauren has mentioned and said, because this is her card. So this is ultimately about her. And that's another thing that's so beautiful that we'll do in my workshop on Thursday. If you come at 1 Central, 2 Eastern on Thursday, is that you get to have a bunch of people all focused on you at the same time, but it's like not in a scary way. Cause I know like I'm autistic. I don't want too much attention on me. Like I kind of start to freak out a little bit. I'm like, stop looking at me so much. Stop paying attention to me. But it's like with this way, we're focused on you, but we're really focused on the art. And so that really helps that, feeling you feel loved and supported and seen, but also in kind of a not in a scary way. So awesome. All right. So that was Lauren's card. Thank you all so much. Okay, let's see. I think who else said they wanted a card? I'm gonna scroll up. I see Bex is here. Hi, Bex. I'm excited that you're here. A new friend. I don't remember who else. Well, you'll have to just say you want a card again because I honestly, I honestly don't. I can't find it. Okay. Oh, Tony. Yeah, that I just like I knew there was someone else, but I didn't see it. Okay. I'm gonna do Tony, and then I'll do Bex. Okay. My phone's ringing. Make sure it's not the school. Okay. It's my life right now. Well, let me take this one down. Okay, so I'm pulling a card for Tony. This is cool because usually it's Tony pulling a card for me. No pressure. Okay. I have a very specific way of doing this. Just showed before. I kind of like let them fall. I can't do it in this camera. And then I see what happened. Oh, there we go. Okay. Ooh. All right. Got Tony's card. And I don't want to, I kind of want to not show Tony the number or like what card it is, although she'll figure it out. She can count the number of things. I'm like, what if we interpreted it without any knowledge of what card it actually is? So when I show art to people, I don't tell them the title or the artist because I don't want them to Google it. So I'm like, because Tony is a tarot card master, and I'm like, well, I don't want to tell her what card this is, but I think I have to because it's on there and it's literally so obvious. Okay. We have to rely on the fastness of my airdrop. So just a second. Oh, have I pulled for you? I don't remember. Okay. I watched that whole movie last night, y'all, Interstellar. And why is it not sending to my computer? And the whole time I was like, I've never seen this. And my husband was like, yes, you have. And I was like, no, I've never seen this. And he's like, you have seen it. And he was like, we watched it in this house together. He was like, I remember you talking like what you said. And I'm like, I don't remember. It is not sending. What is happening? There it goes. Okay. Hi, Vivian. Welcome. Okay, I will add you to the list. I should probably start writing names down. Oh, it did send twice. Okay. Here we have the 5 of Wands for Tony. So I'd love for you to forget everything you know about the 5 of Wands and only focus on what you see in the art. You're naturally gonna like, I don't think you could probably hear the words 5 of Wands without like naturally knowing what that means. But I would love to hear what you think about the image. So what is drawing your attention first? What are some of the things you're noticing? And how does it relate to you? And then everybody else listening can also share what you think as well. Drat's a 5. You don't like a 5 card. Okay, sorry. I'm going to write the names down while I'm waiting for Tony for her thoughts. She's various stages of action all happening at once. Okay, so we have Bex and we have Melissa and Vivian. Okay. And if I didn't say your name just now, say it again because I might have missed it. Okay, so we have various stages of action all happening at once. Some are struggling, some are triumphant, some are diligent. Some be diligent. Yeah, like this one, especially like it looks pretty precarious. Like one of the things I love to do with looking at art is to like imagine my body like in that position and in that posture and see what it does. And like when I'm with a group in person doing workshops, I make them actually do it. Like we're all going to stand up and do this position right now because it gives you like extra information that you might not have caught just by looking at it. Like there's this one African sculpture that we look at, and it's like no one can ever kind of, and where you've tried to kind of figure out what it's about. And it's not until we get into the position and when you like go like this and then we put our hands out like this and we're like, oh, wait a minute. Like we're like feeling like we're scolding. And then it goes into this um whole thing, like where you can figure out exactly like what they use that sculpture for just by like putting your body into that position. So if you imagine your body in each of these positions, that kind of adds some extra information. Okay, so Tony also says, and new people, I'm streaming in two places. So if you're not seeing these comments, it's not because you're crazy. Um, it's because there's two places. Okay, so night. So there's not a lot of information available, but there's light available still. Yeah, like I love this like sparkly stuff falling from the sky. Like it feels like they're all working for something together for something pretty exciting. There's like flames and glittery magic coming from it. You know, it's like there's something really, really cool. Um, oh, that game. Yeah, that I don't have that game, but I know what you're talking about, where it's just like everything is kind of balancing on everything else. And it makes me think too, like all these people, although they're not necessarily touching, they are, well, no, a couple of them are, but they are all working together. Um, and then Tony also says a sense of emergence too from the kind of cave-like energy at the top. Ooh, yeah, well, maybe that, yeah, they're like coming out of a dark place. Like maybe they're in like a cave place and then they are going working together to get out or to get to this sort of magical place. And does it feel like a magical place too? Because it feels magical to me, but like um it could be something different for you. Lauren says the scene feels full, maybe lots of ideas, players, moving parts, seems a little chaotic, but like organized chaos. Yeah. Like it doesn't feel like like Lincoln Logs. You just put them in there and you just build your little tower. Like they're building this thing that's like a little bit wonky, a little bit chaos, but they all seem to have like such a purpose too. Shilpa, I'll add you to my list and I'll pull you a card. That will put you fourth on the list. So I will get to you then. All the work underneath the emergence. So Tony, do you see yourself in in any of these interpretations? Does anything feel really resonant to you? Ooh, I love that. So this could be all of these people in this card could be all different parts within Tony, all working together. Um, I love that. So I think, yeah, it's like you could read this card as like maybe a support community or people in your family or whatever, but you can also read it as like these are this is me and all the different things happening in me, all working together to accomplish this goal. I love it. Yeah, I'm gonna admit something too. When people say as above, so below, my autistic brain cannot figure out what that means. And I've had it on I'm like, I'm gonna Google that one day and I'm gonna read the full description of what it means. But like, I don't understand. Never understood. And people say it all the time in like witchy communities and stuff. And I'm like, I really honestly don't know what it means. um I try. I'm like try. I think I'm trying to interpret the words literally, and I'm just like, it does not compute. I just can't do it. Awesome. Okay, and Tony, you also see it in the building of your community. Yeah, like all the stuff you're doing in your community and working with with other people in your community on different events. Like I love it. You're all kind of working for a common purpose. Anything else coming to your mind when looking at this card? Like one of the things that I would, if we were to continue to do this, like in a workshop, we spend a pretty good amount of time on each person's. It kind of depends on how many people show up, but and the group dynamic. But the patterns on the branches or the wands, but branches, the little, the red things, that kind of could have some meaning to interpret. They almost look a little bit torch-like, like especially this one at the top. Like maybe that one's they're trying to get that up to the fire so they can like light their torch. Okay. The universe is a lazy coder, reuses the code cosmically at our human level in a minute. Oh, okay. Is that who you okay? That's what as above, so below? Oh. You've solved a problem for me. I have been trying to figure out what that means for a long time, but I never remember long enough to look it up. Okay. Mandy's interpretation is, I think of it like whatever comes to fruition on the outside had to first be created on the inside, like a tree and its roots. Okay. Okay. Oh, thank y'all. I'm doing a Facebook Live for you, but y'all are solving some problems for me on this as above, so below thing. I love it. Ooh. Now, so I know Mandy was talking about the as above, so below thing, but I saw the word like a tree and its roots, and I'm like, what if those red things were roots? And that just sent me on a whole different thing. That could be interesting to pursue. Although they are above mountains, so that might not be. But they are like very root-like because they kind of come to points and they're kind of going all different directions. So I love it. I can't wait to see what you're building to. I mean, I have ideas of what you're building to, but it like I think I have only known you in the world. Tarot Destroyer. I'm getting all these comments from Tarot Destroyer with all these black. Okay. How do we block a person? Someone has some problems with tarot. They're flooding the thing. Okay. They've been blocked. All right. Excellent. Yeah. Oh, so anyway, what I was saying was like I've known you for like almost a year, and I've already it's already been fun to see what you've done in a year. So like, can't wait to see what else you're building to. Yeah, they're like on you. This is also streaming to YouTube, but I was like, I didn't even think anybody watched it on there, but apparently they go and destroy people's lives of tarot. They have strong feelings. They probably need a tarot reading to talk about where that's coming from. Okay. All right, that was Tony's. I'm going to pull one for Bex next. Thank you, past self, for writing that list. They really destroyed it. They spent a good, 30 seconds was spent before they got blocked. They destroyed a lot. Okay, this one's for Bex. Focus on the cards for a second. Okay. Giving me multiple passes through before it wants to show me which card is yours. Oh, there it is. Okay. All right, give me 1 second to get this airdropped to my computer. And your card showed up in reverse, Bex. So I'm going to show it to you in reverse. And that reversal is part of the meaning. So I can flip it up and down so we can kind of look at it from different angles, but um, looking at it upside down how, is part of it. So um, this is my like old eyes. Like I have to lean forward to like see the text on my screen. Share screen. Okay, Bex, this is for you. This is the Nine of Cups in reverse, which I love this card. I like want this card to happen in my life. Like immediately I'm like, yes, give me more of this energy. So I'd love to hear if you're still here, Bex. Don't tell me names of people watching. What you think? And my first, I'm just going to chat while I wait, but my first thing was it looks like the person is jumping out of this treasure chest. And then like intentionally diving into whatever this is down below, which looks really watery, mystical, magicy, something like it's probably like if we were to look at it upright. Uh, it's I don't know what I would read that upright as, but this way it definitely feels like water that they're jumping into for me. Okay, hey, welcome back. Okay, this is your card, so I'd love to hear what your thoughts are. We have another one where I love this deck always has like magic coming or like bright rays coming off of the people. Not always. You can't always be bursting with magic, but thankfully this card lets us burst with magic. So I see them as like jumping off of this treasure chest into this place, but like not in a way that is fearful. It looks really like excited and energetic and like almost like the fool card. Like I'm just going to take the leap and I'm just going to like go for it. But like knowing like I've got like all of these cups here which are like could be stuff to hold all of these riches going with you. Falling? Would love to hear your thoughts. Sorry, I saw Tarot Destroyer again. It made me giggle. I'm like, stop. Don't look at it again. It's so funny. Okay. I have expected another like Tarot Destroyer 2 to show up. Like they have multiple accounts and then they log in and out, but unfortunately we only had one Tarot Destroyer today. I love the colors in the clothes and in the hair. Like this is so like feels so joyful. It feels so like fun. Even though I don't really like to fall from high places or jump from high places. Like they feel like totally safe. And like when a gymnast does their flips on the bar or on the balance beam, they like throw their head back and they see the beam before they put their feet down. Like that's what it kind of looks like for me. Oh, oh my God. Okay. So this is a really interesting or not interesting, a poignant example of how one person's interpretation is different than someone else's because we don't like what happens when you look at art is everything you are, everything you've ever been, your your traumas in your life, your childhood, your your neurotype, like all the things that you are and will be and have been, like come forward, and then the art has everything it ever was, and the artist, like, and then they meet together. And so I usually, like in the tarot workshop on Thursday, would have let Bex do her interpretation first, um, or there. Uh, Let me know if your pronouns. Um, like we would have done that first, and so that, you know, your interpretation is the most important one because that happened. That's something that happened to you. So that is really interesting that this happens, and that is horrible. And I'm like, do I want to know if you read the card as so positive? Like when you saw it first, did you feel positive towards it, or was it just because of the things that I was saying about the card that led it? Like, or did you read that? Um, Thank you. Okay. Or did you read that as because you have had this event happen in your life recently? Like, um, was it did that feeling take over? That's the type of question I'm trying to ask. Ooh, okay, and then here's another one is Mandy looks at this and feels like she's coming up from the bottom of the sea, and the cups and bowls are wanna take her in the opposite direction. So her light from within is what supports moving these cups upward to the surface where they can float on top. And I'm wondering, too, I would love to hear what your thoughts are on the cups and what they could mean. Yeah, okay. Um, I It never ceases to amaze me the power of art to reach us in the places where we're at, like, and it in tarot especially because they are so connected with basic human life experiences. They It just amazes me how one person gets the card that, like, is directly related to something that happened in their life, and, like, that means that there's something there for you to explore or think about, or a new maybe it's a new perspective, and I don't wanna force you to have to talk about this on a public forum, so it's like, um, that is but it does come up quite a lot in my art connection circles when I show certain works of art. It's just like some people are like, "Oh my god, that is exactly how I felt when my husband died," or like things like that. Like they art communicates in these sort of basic human emotions, and we can feel um and what it does is it connects us to ourselves, it connects us to each other, and it connects us to the artist that's making it, and it connects us to our, like, greater humanity as people, um, that I will never get sick of. Like, it just I find it to be, uh, the most magical, mystical thing that, like, I can't explain because you just see when it happens, it just is it's just it's wild, you know? Like I had someone in, I'm straying off the card, but I had someone in a program that, she was, I've told the story a few times, but it was my first art connection circle. And she had just finished her cancer treatment, and like she had gotten all clear. She was, in remission, and she was going to come in and not talk about her cancer. She was like, I'm just going to leave that behind. And then I'm going to go through this experience. Like that didn't happen. And I'm just going to pretend that, pretend it didn't happen and just go, be me now. And like the first artwork I put up, like she immediately broke into tears. And it was just like that artwork told her, no, this is part of you now. Like this is now who you are. You are now a person who is a cancer survivor, that you can't move forward without that being part of who you are. And so she told us, all about it. And it's so healing, because you can, you feel, I guess, a little less alone when you can connect with art in that way. So, okay. So let me see. We have some other, okay. So Mandy says, she's coming out of a treasure chest. It looks like a release of deep held emotions. Yes. Like I can see that too. Like it could be like these sort of pent up. And then Melissa, I think is feeding off of what Mandy says, like all the emotions are so overflowing that they just have to fall away, and they might be spreading out towards unexpected places. It's not necessarily something she can control, just an inevitable fact of gravity. Yeah. Like a feeling of release and so maybe those golden rays coming from the person too could be the release of emotions too, like everything's just like exploding out, because they couldn't hold it in anymore. Okay. Any more thoughts on this card? Happy to post them, but I'm going to start pulling my next one, because I feel like Bex, there's a like I would invite you to spend a little bit more time with this card today, like on your own. When I do the workshops, we start with a quiet time, where you just have your card and you interpret your card in silence for a little bit. So you have that time to sort of process it before having to immediately talk about it. And that helps a little bit too, because sometimes sometimes it's hard too for me, like to immediately get the feeling, especially when there's like something that happened that's full of emotion. That's interesting. I have a lot going on in my life, and I often feel like I'm falling. And the cups that are falling with me represent all the things I'm trying to do or need to do, but unsuccessful because it's too much at once. Oh, I can relate with that. And I know everybody here watching, most of the people here watching that are commenting are all neurodivergent. So, like 100%, neurodivergent parents trying to like keep up with life. I feel that so hard, especially now, like with the election and with all this other stuff that like we've got all this other stuff happening too, and it's just like it's too much. Like what cups? Like, do you need to put down some cups, or do you need to surrender to the overwhelm, or do you need to just like let some things go? Or what are the things that you're trying to do that you maybe don't need to be doing? Or I wonder, some questions you could ask yourself as you consider this card. Bex, you are among friends here, for sure, because these are my other neurodivergent buddies on the call here. Okay. We find each other. We attract each other. All right. And I hope I get to meet you soon in person, Beck. I'm looking forward to it. Aisha, can I ask a question? Sure. I am pulling cards and I have a list. So if you want a card to be pulled for you, I'll add you 2 minutes. And I'm going to do Melissa next, who pulled a card for me today. So this feels fun to get to pull one back for you. I did a more research on that goddess that you had pulled for me. There wasn't a whole lot of information, but it was fun. Okay. All right, here's Melissa's. Oh, I just got this one. I just got this one myself recently. Okay. Executive functioning skills. First, I need to stop the share in this one, and then I need to take a picture. All right, if I say it out loud, I can more easily do it. I have a text from my child and I've been having issues, so let me just read it to make sure. Okay. Oh, good. Nothing bad. Yay. All right. Both children have texted me while we've been talking. Okay. Okay, Melissa, here's your card. The other text from the kid was like, bro, I forgot my apples. I'm like, yeah, I noticed she did. And I knew she was going to like try to get me to bring her apples. But I'm not going to do that. She'll be fine without our apples today. All right, Nine of Swords. This is a very emotional card too. I would love to hear what you are thinking. And so if you're just joining me, Aisha's from Facebook, from YouTube. We are interpreting the card as artwork. So you look at the card and kind of get the meaning for yourself. And so this card is from Melissa. So I'm hoping to hear Melissa's thoughts. Shilpa, I have you on my list. So I will pull your card after I get Vivian's card. So right now we're looking at the card by Melissa. Or not by Melissa, for Melissa. I got this card recently, and it was very, very, very relevant. I was feeling that day. There was a few days last week where that's like crying. It's just what I did. And I pulled this card that day. And that's another thing. It's like, of course I pulled this card the day I cried all day. Yeah, so you're seeing the weeping and you're seeing the grief. That's kind of the first thing that you see. So this figure is sitting in grass. I'm just going to describe it while we wait for Melissa's insights. There's a bed frame that's drawn in, not solid, in the grass. And then there is a pillow. And they're in a red dress, which I think that's like really draws your attention, is that bright red amongst all of the sort of darker colors. We've got like the little magic dots, but it looks more like rain. But although there's not really rain clouds, are there? And then we've got a whole slew of birds up in the sky. And in this deck, the swords are represented as birds. So all of the swords cards have birds, these blackbirds. So we have the blackbirds, but we also have one white one that's also kind of looks like a drawing too because we can see it's like translucent. We can see the other birds through it. And then there's this all these like black um lines to me that are showing the movement of the wings up and down. Uh like that's what it looks like to me. It's just like this sort of energetic, chaotic movement. And Mandy says she sees the birds swarming overhead and makes you feel anxiety, like they're screeching and causing chaos. Like this would not be like a delightful bird situation. Like sometimes birds are like, oh, look how cute. But it feels super like loud and overwhelming. Um, let's see. And Melissa sees the birds circling overhead, which feels a lot like overwhelm. Yeah. So we're seeing overwhelm, anxiety. Uh, but just beyond them, there's a lightning in the clouds as opposed to the gray one. Oh, a light. Yeah. Oh, like a lightning. I see what you mean. Okay. I read it as lightning strike. Yeah. Like we've got some like dark clouds, but and then above them, they get a little bit brighter. And then if we keep going up, this is blue sky. So it's kind of maybe I would like read this like it could be a symbol of hope, like the like this like grief is happening, this kind of chaos is happening, but like things are uh getting brighter as we go up and like the sky's clearing, although I like a gray sky a lot. But in theory, I guess a blue sky is like happier. And then there's also though this white bird, which to me like could be also maybe a sign of hope or like a protector or a spirit or some sort of someone coming in or some being coming in and like uh helping out the situation. Maybe unoverwhelming it because it also like it feels like it's bringing in this like yellow energy, like this light energy that's maybe going to wipe out all this like dark black energy. um so that it, like feels directional too, like maybe that's some hope coming in as well. Bex is saying that she looks sad and are the birds there to protect or pester? Yeah, like I think that that answer to that question would depend on who's feeling these feelings. Yeah, so it would be like whatever Melissa's instinct is would be the like the thing. But like you can also read these as like, oh, this card is for me. Like I know what this feeling is. I feel this way. Like you could be watching and you didn't throw your name in, and you're like, oh shoot, I'm watching this for a reason. It's because of this, and then you can kind of get some idea of what those could be. All right, Melissa said, okay, so Mandy says the nines represent the end of the cycle. So it's like the light is coming, the white bird representing peace coming to clear the chaos. Yeah, I love that. It's like it's the end. Like this is the end of a hard period. Melissa says she's also choosing not to put the pillow underneath her knees. It seems full and present to help her soften the ground, but she's overwhelmed in her grief so that she doesn't see any of the possible things at her aid. Yeah, like um yeah, I don't know why you would. If there's a pillow within an arm's reach from me, I've got it. Like I always have a pillow in my lap. Not when I'm working because it's like, where am I going to put it? But um, yeah, like use your pillow, Melissa. What does your pillow represent for you? Um, definitely feels like the white bird is scattering off the overwhelm of the others. Shilpa, you are on my list. All right, we will get to you right now. I have it written down. All right. How is this card feeling for you, Melissa? Oh, too easy. Like, why should it be easy when the grief is so present? Interesting. Like, does it have like, do you have stories about that things must be hard? Or that if you're feeling feelings, you're not allowed to have comfort? But I also think too, like, the pillow could be, like, giving giving in to the grief, like, giving in to that, those emotions and just, like, you like with you throw yourself on that bed and, like, you hug the pillow and just, like, let yourself cry, like, you'll kind of surrender to the feeling and, like, let the feeling truly, like, be felt. Um, I wonder sometimes I just need to have a tantrum. Yeah. Feelings and comfort are not things that go together. I'm gonna disagree with you on that one. I'm gonna challenge I'm gonna challenge that. Feelings are so uncomfortable that, uh, it's like we do so much work to stuff them down and to, like, not feel them, but then they get worse, and then we just it keeps building, and then, oh, that calls us back to the card we just looked at. Um, but if we allow them to come and comfort ourselves through them, um, I wonder, okay, so this is my question. I don't know if, um, is if you think about the phrase feelings and comfort are not things that go together, would you say that same thing about your child? Like if they're feeling big feelings, would you want to help them be more comfortable in their feelings, or would you um, I like to think about myself as through my own chil- children, like how I would treat myself is how I would treat my child. Hi, Marwa. I have a kind of a full list right now, and I haven't had lunch, so I'm gonna cut my list off now. But follow me, and you can, and hopefully, I will be able to get you another time. And I'm doing a workshop on Thursday. The links in the comments, but it's you can come and do the same thing live on Zoom. Man. Okay, so I want to read what I skipped past the first thing Melissa said because I saw "God damn it," and I mean that made me laugh. Okay, I don't mean to laugh at your feelings. Okay, feelings themselves feel overwhelming so easily. I've had to work so much on only dealing with my own feelings because otherwise I'm overwhelmed by others. 100%. I can completely relate to that. I find myself like not even asking other people how they are, like offering to help other people because it's just like I can barely take care of myself. Um, like I'm at capacity. So I totally understand that. Um, but you are deserving of comfort and maybe some like pillow, like laying and feeling your feelings while holding a pillow um might be something good for you. Okay. Yeah, come to my workshop Thursday at 2 Eastern, 1 Central, cindyingram.com/tarot. And we're basically doing this. Get a little bit of coaching. Um, you take care of a lot of people, Melissa. So I think taking care of yourself too is good. Sometimes ever since I figured out I was autistic, I go into my closet and I like hide in there. And I have a bunch of pillows that you like pillows I've discarded over the years, whatever. There's like a whole stack. And I get a blanket and I turn off the light and I just like nuzzle in the corner of my closet And it's so nice, you know? It's like I can be physically comfortable and I can just like decompress and like get like all those blackbirds flying around, like can like scatter and let me just be left over, like let them scatter themselves. I'm not pushing them down. I'm allowing them to like say their thing, say whatever they need to say, whatever. But then like I let them release them. Okay. Thank you, Melissa. Okay, well, let's stop. Remember, I have to talk myself through this. Stop share goes first. Okay. And now we are going to Vivian. Vivian, are you still here? Say hello if you are. I feel like the number count has gone down. So I just want to make sure you're actually here. Because I can talk about the card all day, but if you're not here to hear it, then. So Vivian, let me know if you're still here. And if not, I will get to Shilpa, who has a specific question. And that's kind of a good way to do it when, we kind of interpret the card, pull the card for you, and we can interpret and find the meaning. But if you come to with a specific question, that's going to give you a lot of more specific answers. Okay, this card's coming from Vivian. Hello, you're still here. Excellent. I don't trust that number count of yours. Okay. Here we go. Oh, that was fast. Okay. There's a little bit of a lag when I'm talking. So if I ask the same question 5 times after you've already answered, it's because there's a lag. Getting your card. Ooh, it worked the first time. We have another one that's in reverse. So that can factor into your interpretation. And we have the Knights of Pentacles in reverse. So I would love to hear what you what you think about this card. Okay. Oh, so you're saying all of the blockages. When will things move on in my life? And immediately when I'm looking at this card, I'm like, oh, hello, look at all those blockages you're just shedding. When you said blockages, I'm like, oh, that's what this is. That's my interpretation. I'd love to hear your interpretation, of course. But it's each of these as let's put it upright first, and then we'll flip it back upside down and then see what that might mean. But right side up, I'm seeing it as like as the figure is walking forward, all of these things sort of are being left behind, or maybe they're seeds being planted. So it's maybe as simple as just letting it go, because look how calm and relaxed he is. He's got his like cuffed pants and is barefoot in the grass, and he's like, he just like looks super chill. He's got his horse there. The horse is pretty awesomely decorated. I would love to know if you have any like personal significance of horses, of what that could mean for you. To me, that horses always represent sort of this feeling of love and strength and support and like grounding. Mainly because I've had just good experiences with horses in my life. Yeah. So what are you thinking, Vivian, when you look at this card? Is there anything resonating with you? And then when we flip it back upside down, which is how the card came out, are the blockages still being left behind, or is it something else? Luck. Okay. Nice. I mean, if I were doing a tarot reading, which I do tarot readings sometimes, for other people, I don't like do it formally, but if I were answering your question based on this card, I would say the answer to when will things move on in my life is would be when you let them go. When you make the decision to let the things no longer be obstacles. So, um that there, especially because it's in reverse. Because if this card would have come up right side up, I think I would think, "Oh, yeah, you're just letting them go. You're on the right path. You're moving forward and things are falling behind." But the fact that it is upside down might show to me that, like, there's some part of you that is holding on to, the blockages. Yeah, moving ahead and leaving everything behind, and that's what it that's the clear message, like, when the card came through, when I saw it, it was just like, yeah, there's some things that you need to let go of, and, like, what those things are, I think only you know, but, like, um, whether it's relationships or whether it's, um, limiting beliefs or whether, like, you move forward because that's the right thing for you to do, and don't let the other things weigh you down anymore, and you keep moving forward. How does that feel to you? Anything else that you're noticing in this card that's drawing your attention? And Shilpa, let me know if you're here because you're up next. But I do feel like I'm running out of energy. I realized I didn't eat lunch before I did this, and I'm like, oh, it's lunchtime. Okay. Think I think Shilpa is not here. I think Vivian. Oh, it looks oh, you are here. Awesome. I don't know. This little viewer count is just not working. It says 0 right now, and I'm like, "But Vivian's talking right now." Okay. Looks like I have won my race, and oh, and Aisha's still here too. Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm not gonna trust that viewer count anymore. Vivian says, "Looks like I've won my race and hold my award with a star on my back." Oh, I love that. So this is like, and it also, to me, it looks like, a shield, uh like like it's an award, and but it's like also there's a protective element to it. And then I don't know if you noticed too, this like, he's holding one of them. I'm gonna put it up so I can see a little bit better, but he's holding one of them, and then, like, if you look, this lighter color is coming from that. So that's interesting. So if we were in a Zoom workshop where we could talk a little bit easier, these are all some things that we would talk about and consider. So I hope this gave you some things to think about, Vivian, about these blockages that you're talking about, and maybe there's something that is uh, um, ready to let go, ready to be released. All right, Shilpa, you're up next. So I'm going to stop sharing. And then you had a specific question. So I'm just going to scroll on up and find it so I can think about that. Your job security. All right. So you're really wanting some insight into your job situation. So that's what we will consider as we pull you a card. So just as a reminder for those watching that I am doing a workshop on Thursday at 1 Central, 2 Eastern, where we interpret tarot cards together. You get your own card, and you'll get a little bit of coaching, a little bit of art interpretation practice and instruction, and it's a lovely community to do that. Okay, so Shilpa's job situation. Okay. And one of them definitely flew out. Okay. So my theory or my beliefs on about tarot cards is that they're not predicting the future. They're not necessarily giving you. They're like a lens to view your situation. So only you can decide, like, is this what this card means and what it means for you. But I can give you my interpretation too, of course, and like if I were to do a reading, that's what I would do. But it is not necessarily predicting the future, but helping you look at the situation through another lens. So 1 second, because my husband just asked if I wanted lunch, which I do. Okay. Yay. He's going to deliver me some lunch. Okay. Did I take a picture of the card? I did. We just got to get it on my computer. I think you're going to see some clear guidance from this card, from based on your question and like what I would say and do if I were doing a reading, like it's just me giving a reading. So I would love to hear what your thoughts are, though, when you see this card. And yours also showed up in reverse, so we will interpret it in that way. And we have 8 of Cups in reverse. But I mean, I'm gonna try to like not talk. I want you to talk about what you see. So I'm just gonna like describe it while we wait for you to hear your interpretation. So the card in reverse is a figure walking away from a body of water towards a sun, maybe a sunrise or a sunset, but the sun is just peeking over the horizon. And then in the water, we've got a cup with some flames in it. And then we also have a cup that is sinking. So that's interesting because we were talking about a cups card earlier, and Mandy was talking about the cup sinking in water. And so we actually have that happening here. So Shilpa, what do you think this card means for you? I'm going to show it like this just to see the difference it makes when you turn it upside down. Like if this card were, my dog's whining. 1 second, let me let him out. Hey. That slapped. He just doesn't want, he wants to know why my husband just left. Okay. Yeah. So if we were to see it this way, like it seems to be a very clear thing of her walking away from a situation, and you're talking about whether you should leave your job, and she's walking away from something into something maybe even brighter and newer. She has maybe put this flaming bowl in the water before she started to walk away, and then left it behind. And then there's maybe, I'm just look at this. Look at these little shadows. Like this is the 8 of Cups. Like I bet we have 8 of these little shadows. Like there's 8 cups total. 2 of them we can see, the other ones have sunk. So love to hear what you think about that. So like upright, this is a pretty clear interpretation, I think, of what you might want to consider with your job. But when we turn it upside down, what new meanings does that give you? So that, I would think about like, it could be the same, meaning, and it could be a different meaning. So it's just up to you to kind of consider what that means. But like when I see the flaming bowl upside down and like the little white dots above it, like with the water, that I might see that as like bubbles coming up, because we have all these other ones that had the bubbles. But here it almost looks like it's falling out of the bowl. Wow. Okay. I'm not sure if there's just a really big lag, or you're not typing anything. So let me know. Let me know if you want to interpret your own card. Because my background is in art education and art, helping people connect with art. And so I love to let the person with me read the card too, like, and interpret those images. To me, there's like an uneasiness, like the water flowing down, the like the water above her. Um, but I do feel like the answer is almost the same. Like I think, what, like there is something she's walking to that does seem bright and exciting. So might be something to consider. I'm sure you're considering it. But hopefully you got some sort of answer from your card, some sort of new perspective shift or thought. And, what we'll do in the workshop is we have everyone in the room also interpreting the same card. A lot of people that were doing that in the chat have yeah, you're not sure. You might want to spend some time with the card, like take a screenshot of it and and think about like what it could mean for you. But in the workshop on Thursday, we will interpret together. And so there's a lot more people giving their thoughts on what everything means. But ultimately, the interpretation that you create is the one that is the most important. So this is not like a tarot that you would typically see, finding online, that we're relying on your art interpretation skills and what each thing could symbolize. So yeah, I would spend a little bit more time with it, Shilpa, and see. To me, it looks like walking away from a toxic situation feels like a good thing to do. And it feels like you would be successful at it. The number 8 shows like the kind of completion, you're near the end of a cycle, that you're ready to move on to something else, and that you have to think about like what you have to let go to move forward. And so maybe the fact that it's upside down is like that the thing that she let go, you're not ready to let go of yet. So maybe there's something that you have to let go of so that you are able to move forward. That would be my interpretation for you. So something you might need to let go of. Okay, Aisha, you've stuck around and it is now your turn. And I'm streaming in a couple places, so if it's confusing, if you see me talk to someone and you don't see them, it's because I am on YouTube and Facebook. So I'm gonna pull a card for you, Aisha. And did I remember you had a specific question? Let me scroll up. An arranged marriage proposal. Okay. So Aisha has an arranged marriage proposal and they're not sure if you can. So let's see what we got. Ooh. Ooh. Okay, this card kind of can freak people out, so I'm just warning you in advance. But it's like it's not normally, is it not like quite as like ominous as you might think. Uh, so usually when this card comes up, there's some really good insight. So I am going to get it up on my computer and then click this. Okay, Aisha, you got the devil card. Um, so I would love to hear, like, what was your initial reaction to seeing it? I know I kind of warned you, but I mentioned that some people can be a little bit scared by this card. But when you see this card and think about your question, like, what is your gut reaction? To your question. Like if this card were an answer to your question, what does your gut say? What's your first thought? Because that's often the message of the card. Like if you can kind of start to overthink it, and we can not overthink, but then we can get into more detail of like all the different things in the card and interpreting all of them. But some of them have a very clear like, oh, I know this. It was like when we were reading Bex's card earlier. It was like she knew. Um, she knew what that card was referring to immediately. Good luck. So we know this system has a little bit of a lag, so I'm just kind of waiting for the chat to happen. But in the meantime, we've got a dark figure with hair splayed out everywhere. Okay, IDK. Um, and really piercing eyes kind of looking right out at us. You don't feel anything. Okay. Um, we've got the hand reaching outstretched. We've got he's tattooed. So that symbol is it the pentagram? No, it's not. Something else. It's a different, I don't know what that shape actually is. And then he's got like a ram on his arm. And then from his fingers, there's like a person with their hands on their head, kind of looking like in sort of swept up in emotion, because we can see these, like, if you follow these lines of the hair, they kind of go down and around, and that feels like it's kind of swept up in this emotion. But then they're on sort of puppet strings. We've got three of them. Two of them go to the hands, and then one of them is maybe just to the back. I wonder if I could tell. It's just maybe the shoulder. Um, okay, so if you're not feeling anything about this card, what I would say is it's to me, there is someone who is beckoning you forward, who is calling you forward. Um, but that person may or may not have like the best intentions. So we can see like the puppet strings, like the controlling, the manipulation, that there's that if you were to go with this figure, that you might get swept up in negativity or negative emotions. We have these, like this happened with the black, we saw the black shadowy stuff when we were looking at the birds earlier. We're kind of seeing that same imagery representing in this card. And so it feels really dark, it feels really chaotic, and it feels like a little bit of like out of controlness, if you were to go with this figure. And so that's the symbolism I personally see in the card. Um, I might also consider like what the symbolism of a ram is. Let me look that up. Strength and virility, strength, courage, creative power, leadership, for well, a lot of things. Wisdom and discernment. Yeah. Wisdom, discernment, sacrifice, protection, and guidance. So it could be telling you to kind of um, use your intuition and your support systems, and really tap into what you're feeling about the situation. Um, and and I think only you can make that decision. You know that, but to me, this feels like right now, I don't I don't want to go with him. He does not feel safe. He feels uh like he feels alluring, like I'm curious, and I'm like I can see, like if I just focus on his eyes and his face, like I could feel myself like floating towards him. But like there are signs that like there's danger here, that I'm gonna get lost, I'm gonna get swept away, that I'm gonna lose myself in this. And that's the feeling personally that I'm getting from this card. So maybe that's something to consider for your question. Okay. All right, y'all. Thank you for joining me today. This ended up being a little, I had no idea how long it was going to be, but I did this for a while. I'm getting a little tired. Okay. I hope to see you at my workshop on Thursday at 2 Eastern, cindyingram.com/tarot. The link is in the comments. And it's a really lovely experience to interpret art in a group, and really get, focus on yourself and your situation in a really amazing, positive way. All right. I'll see y'all next time. Bye.